my name is Dorcas Sullivan, and my presentation will be on how women should be allowed to breastfeed in public. Now, breastfeeding in public has become a major controversy in our quote-unquote accepting society. The reason why I say accepting society is because we claim to be a society who has passed discrimination and racism. We believe in same-sex marriage and overall equality. However, few of us are aware of the issues people have about breastfeeding in public. Many people believe it is morally wrong for women to expose themselves and feed their infants in public. However, women should always have the rights to decide for themselves. It is incredibly wrong how society approves women being sexualized in magazines, ads, movies, etc., but cannot stand the idea or image of a woman feeding her child in public. It is medically proven that breastfeeding is the best option for a baby. The antibodies and germ-fighting factors pass through the mother's body to the baby, strengthening their immune system. This helps against infections and prevents allergic reactions and other chronic conditions. It is understood, however, that some mothers don't have the option because their bodies can't produce enough milk, so they use formulas. Formulas are a good alternative option, although they can be expensive. Formulas contain nutrients children need to grow. Some mothers who use formulas worry they won't achieve that special bond a woman gets when breastfeeding, but they are wrong. Regardless of their choice to breastfeed or use the formula, a baby's love for its mother is unconditional. Nourishing a baby can boost a mother's self-confidence in her ability to care for her child. And once again, if breastfeeding or using the formula you take in a special moment with the baby when you look down and they gaze right back at you and smile. It is difficult to believe people can be disrespectful when it comes to a mother and child, but what is more astonishing is that many states approve of public breastfeeding, either private or in public places. It's just the people who don't approve of it. Even though by law women have the right to breastfeed anywhere they want, society disagrees and they harass innocent mothers and victimize and destroy their feelings. There are 2 links in this slide. The first one is about a social experiment. Hopefully you do decide to watch it, but the first one in the social experiment, there's 3 people. It's 2 women and a guy, and there's a woman who has a baby, and they experiment in a mall. The first person who sits down, she's holding her baby, she's breastfeeding it, she's covering herself, and then some people approach her and they just start harassing her, telling her like she's disgusting or she should go away, why is she doing that, that's gross. The second woman, she's wearing like not a provocative shirt, but she's wearing a short shirt where her breasts are showing, and instead of getting harassing remarks like the first one, she's getting hit on. The guys are approaching her, telling her she's hot, and then when they sit right next to each other, a guy comes up to the woman and tells her that it's not okay for her to breastfeed. And when he's asked why it's not okay for her to breastfeed, but it's okay for the other woman to show off her breasts, he says it's because one of the girls is hot and the other one isn't. So that just shows how society takes different views on that. The second one is another event that happened a few months ago in June. In a Target shopping center, there was a man. They were probably in a food court. It looked like a food court. And the woman, she decided to sit down in a corner quietly to herself, and she started breastfeeding her child. As soon as the man realized that the woman was breastfeeding, he decides to then suddenly become aggressive and kind of harass her. He's totally being disrespectful. It was really, really harsh, and it had a really big hit on the woman. She even admits in the video that she was shaky. You can hear her kind of crying, like it's hard for her to even say the words, like what she was trying to say. And she was really surprised, and she felt heartwarming that a lot of the employees at Target, they were defending her. A woman who was a customer as well, she was defending her. The guy was calling her a whore. He was telling her she was quote unquote fucking disgusting just because she was feeding her child. To me, that's personally ridiculous, because the woman wasn't doing anything to him. She was in a corner quietly to herself feeding her child, and this man, he demands a refund. He's just totally being aggressive and violent and just rude. And this just shows this is one of many events that sometimes they don't all get caught on camera, but we get to see, like, this is real stuff that women have to go through just because they breastfeed, just because they decide that they want to feed their child and they want to do it in public. They don't see the need for them to have to go hide or go somewhere specific just to feed their kid. There's this one quote that I found where it says, "Why do you turn around to see my child's food when I don't turn around to see your food?" It's kind of impactful too, and you think about it, because when you see people eat, you don't really look at them, you don't really look at what they're eating or watch them, but when a woman takes out her breast to feed her kid, like, all of a sudden everyone's kind of like watching, criticizing her, and that's just wrong. Now, you may be asking yourself, what can we do to change society's views on this issue? Well, what we can do is break the silence, stand up for what you think is correct. Um, you can attend protest or even help spread the word about there being a protest, or your thoughts about it. If you see someone being a victim to these kinds of incidents, stand up, defend them, tell the other person, you know what, that's wrong. Why are you harassing them? Why are you doing this? I strongly believe that by breaking the silence and participating protests, we are raising awareness, and this will lead to a change in our society. It won't only just be a major success in women's history of fighting for equal rights and respect, but also it'll assure a safer future for all future mothers who are afraid to go out in public and feed their child. Again, it's incredible that by law it is accepted in California and other states to breastfeed in public, and I believe that soon society will come to understand why it is that women have the right in the first place to do as they wish with their bodies and with their babies. Now, my question to you is, why do you believe that society accepts how the media portrays women as sexual objects, but cannot bear to see an infant being publicly breastfed? Thank you for watching and listening once again about how and why women should have the rights to publicly breastfeed.